Hello, fellow murderers. Today is Wednesday, May 1st, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the murder at the Magic Palace, and we have three 3x3 grids with suspects, locations, and weapons. It's Wednesday, so we will have statements today, and as always, we'll have two people who are telling the truth and one who is telling a lie, and whomever is telling a lie is our murderer today. So let's go ahead and meet our suspects for today. We have Officer Copper, Sister Lapis, and Principal Applegreen. The weapons are a trained vicious rabbit, a saw, and a fake sword. And our locations today are the parking lot, the piano room, and the close-up table. Alrighty, let's dive into our clues and evidence. There's not much, so hopefully we'll be able to make the best of it. The second tallest suspect had not been in the piano room. So for this, we need to look at everyone's heights. We have 5'5", 5'2", 5'11". So that's going to be Officer Copper at 5'5", right in the middle between these two. So Officer Copper had not been in the piano room. And cross that off. Principal Applegreen had a weapon made of rabbit fur. That's going to be the trained vicious rabbit. And we'll assign that to Principal Applegreen. Okay, so that's all we've got. So let's go ahead. We're going to hit save. And that's going to allow us to hit this recycling icon here to reset our grid. So that we can come back to this solution as we try out different statements. So let's go through the statements. The first thing I do is I look to see if there's anything that must be true or must be false based on what we found already. And I can already see that is not the case here. So the next thing I do is I go through line by line and I make each of these the lie, which means I take the inverse of the statements and then I try to make the other two true with that. So let's start off with Sister Lapis. She's saying that she brought a saw, so we're going to say Sister Lapis did not bring a saw, and hit save one more time just to be safe. Sister Lapis did not bring a saw, so that would give her the fake sword, I believe. Yeah. Now we give Officer Copper the saw, and it would tell us that the saw was not in the music room. So then these other two must be true. A fake sword was at the close-up table, so I would put Sister Lapis at the close-up table. That would put Officer Copper in the parking lot, and that would put Principal Applegreen in the music room. So this can't work because Principal Applegreen's statement would also need to be true, and it can't be because it says that Sister Lapis was in the parking lot, but based on Officer Copper's statement here, which also must be true, that would put her at the close-up table. So we can go ahead and say this isn't going to work. So we can reset. What this means too is that Sister Lapis was telling the truth. So now what we can do is we can say Sister Lapis did bring a saw and Officer Copper brought a fake sword. And we can go ahead and save that now with this updated information. So now let's say Officer Copper is the liar today. So a fake sword was at the close-up table. What that would essentially be saying is a fake sword was not at the close-up table, which would put Officer Copper in the parking lot. Then Sister Lapis was in the parking lot. That won't work either. So we're going to reset. And I think we know Principal Applegreen is going to be our killer today because it's the only one left. But let's go ahead and try it out. So let's update to say a fake sword was at the close-up table. So that means Officer Copper was at the close-up table. And we'll hit save. So then Sister Lapis was in the parking lot. Sister Lapis was not in the parking lot. She was in the music room or the piano room. And Principal Applegreen was in the parking lot. And as far as I can see, this is working just fine. Yep, there we go. There's the solution. So again, what we did there was we looked to see if there's anything we knew right off the bat must be true or must be false based on what we've already found. Because we did not find anything there, we then went one by one. We first said Sister Lapis was lying, so we took the inverse of her statement and tried to make these two true. That didn't work, so we tried it again with Officer Copper. Tried to make Officer Copper's statement false. That didn't work either. That left only Principal Applegreen's, and when we take the inverse of Principal Applegreen's statement, we are able to make that work with these two other statements being true. So that means Principal Applegreen is our murderer today with the trained vicious rabbit in the parking lot. So let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.